centre parks and gardens seem to be maintained to a much higher standard than the open spaces of the amenity areas of the council-owned housing sites. Sites that are more off the beaten track. As Glendale states on its website, amenity green space is essential to the quality of life within your community. When is the council going to implement quality controls to ensure that the residents of our borough receive a quality service and therefore good value for money, good value for council taxpayers' money, and can the Glendale contract be made available for public scrutiny so our residents know what to expect in this very important and costly contract? Thank you.
Cllr Ian. The quality of the works undertaken by our grounds maintenance contractor is monitored and inspected by the Parks and Countryside team. There is a contractual monitoring regime that monitors Glendale's work and is designed to include both formal and informal areas of the borough. The council uses a contractual rectification and default procedure to assess the quality of the work undertaken. This means that where the work falls below the contractual standard, a notice is served requiring the works to be rectified. Failure to do so within a specific time scale results in a default notice being served and a deduction from the contractual payments. During the last 6 months, the council has issued 83 rectification notices across the whole borough. 11 of those went default for poor performance. The performance of our grounds maintenance contractor is scrutinised by Planning and Environmental Scrutiny Panel twice yearly, and presentation is given to the Planning and Environmental Scrutiny Panel at its November meeting this year. The panel has been informed previously that not all the housing areas are within the contract specification, which is something that is being addressed as part of the re-tendering exercise that is beginning this year. The panel will be involved in the developing and making recommendations on the specifications, which will be made available to the public in due course. With respect to the shrub bed maintenance, and specifications only cover the clearing of paths where obstructed, and the reduction of pruning has to be funded separately because of the limited financial resources. Decisions have to be made very carefully as to where this is merited to ensure the money is expended appropriately. As for the value for money, the current contractor has saved the council in excess of £400,000 per year since it took over the grounds maintenance contract in areas 1 and 2 back in 2009. And an additional £50,000 per annum was agreed in 2012 as part of the increased efficiency savings on the contract. Now, councillor, it has to be said, every councillor has a part to play in reporting poor quality of the work that Glendale does, and of course good work as well. This is contacting the Parks Department direct, and in case you don't know, I know that you have not reported one single issue to the grounds maintenance contract people since you've been elected as a councillor. So I fail to see why and how suddenly you're dissatisfied with the service being offered and being delivered. I also note that your colleague has only reported 3 issues this year. So I can suggest to you, start representing your residents' property by reporting the issues in real time and not waiting 4 months until full council. And also, there's a new officer starting shortly who will be monitoring the contracts within the summer period. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. Can I ask Councillor Foster?
Thank you. My question was originally to the leader on general opening.
this is the reason why discussions have taken place between the Borough Council, SLM and Matrix Academy Trust, rather than within the wider audience. The Council talks about open and transparent and open dealings. Well, he's a county councillor, and maybe he should have been quite open when they transferred the land from the county council to Matrix Trust. And the 2017, this agreement that we have on the land, because we do not own the land, Matrix Academy Trust do now, runs out. So one way it's up, we're going to have to come round the table. So council really needs to go back to the county council and ask questions of the county council why they disposed of the land and passed it on to the academy, because they started this whole ball rolling and he voted on it.
Mr. Mayor, could I ask for a supplementary? There's no supplementary we need to get on tonight. Can I ask Councillor Jill Shepherd?
The simple answer is no, Mr. Mayor. The Leeds police station is having their front desk cut. This is in addition to the Bedworth police station some time ago being closed entirely to the public, meaning that many Bedworth people have to come to the Leeds, and now they will find that the hours are even further cut. So I do share Councillor Shepherd's concern, and what is interesting, Mr. Mayor, is that there is a meeting of the Police and Crime Panel on Friday, which I chair, and we should be asking questions of the Commissioner, because we don't scrutinise the police and stuff, as to whether the Commissioner was involved in any of this decision, and if so, why weren't the Police and Crime Panel consulted about it? Because I understand it's happened in other areas of Warwickshire as well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My question is for the Leader of the Council. Councillor Harvey, I'm greatly concerned to hear that the former Conservative Leader of Rugby Borough Council, Craig Humphreys, has been appointed as the Director of the Clearinghouse for the City Deal Partnership, which involves all Warwickshire authorities, Coventry and Hinkley and Bosworth. I understand that the salary set for this position is similar to that of the Chief Executive of the District Council. Can the Leader tell the Council whether members of the City Deal Board were involved in this appointment, how it was possible for a politician who was himself a member of the Board and a member of the Board of the NEB to get such a job, and if he shares my concerns about a councillor obtaining a highly paid position in this way, whilst apparently still a member of the Board, which will employ him. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I share every word of the concerns by Councillor Margrave, Mr. Mayor. This is not a party political issue in that sense, but I am a member of the City Deal Board, which is made up of the 5 districts of Warwickshire, Warwickshire County Council, Coventry City Council and Hinkley and Bosworth. The City Deal Partnership was set up to be able to attract extra funding into this area and to work with the private sector to look at obtaining new industry. It is connected with the LEP in that the LEP is the Local Economic Partnership. This council does not have a direct seat on the LEP as a borough council. However, Craig Humphrey was in fact the district council's rep on the LEP. So he represented all 5 districts. Initially he was also joined by Warwick. But we didn't have a directly elected person on the LEP. But Craig Humphrey was on the board of the LEP. It was decided by the leaders that the funding
because I did not know he had been appointed to this position. Now, I find it very strange, Mr. Mayor, because I was chairing the next meeting of this board, because it's being held here in the afternoon of the 10th of October, and I guess there'll be a lot of questions asked. And the chair revolves, because the meetings revolve, so we move according to wherever the chair is the leader. So presently, I suppose I'm the chair until the next meeting. But I was not informed at all. I have no idea what the qualifications were put as the job, how ex-councillor Humphrey applied, and I personally, Mr. Mayor, find it staggering that a member of the board and a member of the LEP board should then be appointed to one of the jobs and such a highly paid position. In my opinion, Mr. Mayor, I find it very difficult to understand how a politician, of which I'm one myself, how a politician qualified to be in such a highly paid position. I shall be asking Mr. Franks to look into this matter with myself, Mr. Mayor, and we'll report back to the council because we are a contributor to the LEP board, and I have to say, Mr. Mayor, until this point, a very enthusiastic member of the LEP board, but now we are